What is up, guys? Welcome back to a new video here on the channel. So I've already done this intro once, but unfortunately I deleted the intro by accident while I was editing this video. So I'm doing another take right now. So I'm just gonna do a quick recap on what I'm doing in the garage right now. So I'm currently working on my Lexus. We are gonna build a exhaust manifold for my turbo, so it fits in the car. It is super tight in the car. It doesn't really fit where I want it to be. So right after this clip, we are taking the front end apart and marking up the exhaust manifold and just building an exhaust manifold that fits in the car. So that's where we're starting off this video, so enjoy. Alright, that is not gonna work. That is way too tight. I don't have the room for the turbo down there as I thought I did. So I've been scratching my head for a good minute here, and I took it apart again, took the front end off. I, as you saw, cut the exhaust manifold flange off. So I got an idea. I'm gonna modify this manifold. And I've actually managed to come up with a good position for the turbo here, which is, it's hard to show you guys now, but the turbo will still be kind of a top mount here. I do need to cut, the exhaust flange or the turbo flange is hitting right here. So what I'm gonna do is probably cut this piece off right here and then put a steel sheet here to not have a big hole here. I am currently modifying the exhaust manifold. So it is gonna work, but I need to modify a few things. Also, well, my intercooler is not in place now, but I am not gonna be able to have the boost pipes at the top, so I'm gonna flip it over again, so the boost pipes will be down here instead, because originally I wanted them to be up here, the boost pipes or the inlets to the intercooler, but I'm gonna have to put them down here under this bar here, which isn't really a big deal. It's still gonna look awesome, and the boost pipes are not gonna be long at all. It's still gonna be really short boost pipes, but I will have more room for the turbo. I didn't know where to put the blow-off valve with the intercooler how it was, but now if I flip it over I will have more room for a blow-off valve, so that's awesome. So I do have a few things to do here to make the turbo fit, but I think it's gonna be a good idea. The plan is to put the turbo right here. I will be able to fit at least a 3-inch exhaust system or downpipe here, modify the exhaust manifold so it fits. And the one cool thing is, when I ran my 1G FE, I had the intake air filter in this hole here. I am gonna fix so it looks way better, and the turbo is gonna be here, so I can use that hole for the air filter again. I haven't put the gearbox on yet. I am probably gonna do that now. So before I start welding the exhaust manifold, I'm gonna put the gearbox on. Alright, let's see if I can lift this engine out of here. It's I lift it in place, it shouldn't be that heavy. Well, it isn't that heavy, so it should be possible. Alright, let's see. Alright, that wasn't too bad. I'm gonna go and get the gearbox so we can put that on. Alright, so we got the gearbox right here. It's actually... This gearbox actually came with this engine from the same car. So this is a ZF transmission, BMW. So it's a 328 gearbox. And I've seen people run a fair bit of horsepower on these transmissions. I've seen people run like 700-800 horsepower on these transmissions. So I'm not that worried about the power it's gonna handle. So I actually bought a whole car to take the engine and gearbox from. It's actually sitting right here. So it's a E46 wagon, 328. I took the gearbox, the engine, and the rear subframe and a lot of stuff from it. Gearbox should be able to handle my horsepower goals. I'm not even sure if I've told you guys what my goals are. I want to be a little bit over 500 wheel horsepower. Closing in on 600 wheel horsepower is possible. The engine will definitely handle it, it's fully built. But my injectors might be a little bit small for that kind of horsepower. My goals is 500 wheel horsepower anyways, so that's probably a reasonable amount for this car, because it's not gonna be that heavy, and I've been driving it with 300 horsepower and that's been great, so I'm super stoked about that. But yeah, gearbox and my IS300. Yeah, I haven't told you that. I have a IS300 diff and axles. I did tell you guys in the last video actually. So the drivetrain will hopefully handle this amount of power. 500 wheel horsepower is not that much actually, so it's probably fine. But yeah, let's get the engine and transmission together and then put it in the car again. I'm gonna need to find bolts for the transmission because I don't remember where I put them. But I will look for that and put the gearbox on. Alright, I found some bolts. Apparently SR20 gearbox bolts fit. They are just a little bit too long, so I put some extra spacers. Or I put some extra washers. Alright, engine and gearbox is bolted together. Let's see if we can get it in the car. Alright, before we put the engine and gearbox in the car, I am starving, so I am gonna go and get something to eat. I am not sure what to eat though. I did get sushi yesterday, but I kinda want it today as well. Maybe not, I'm not sure. But yeah, let's get something to eat. Alright, I got some food in me and I got the engine and transmission in the car. I did take the head off because it was way easier to put everything in the car without the head, because I was by myself and that shit was heavy. So it's in, I can put the head on, and I'm gonna order some stainless steel exhaust pipes so I can modify my exhaust manifold. So the plan is to modify this exhaust manifold here. I cut the flange off, and I am gonna cut this flange off, and it needs to be rotated a little bit so it lines up how I want everything to be. But it's coming along. I'm very excited because it is super tight with the turbo in this car. So, but I have figured out a way to make everything work, so that is awesome. I do need to, like I said earlier in the video, I do need to trim it down a little bit here. There's a few things I need to modify to make it work, but it is gonna work. It's gonna look awesome, and I'm super excited about it. So I'll see you guys when I got the pipes. Alright, it's a few days later. I got the pipes yesterday, and I've actually put my manifold back together. I put my camera charging at home last night, and I forgot to bring it to the garage when I was welding my manifold. So I didn't record that, but I put my manifold back together, and it's in the car, and it's actually looking pretty decent. The manifold is in place. It looks all right. The collector might be a little bit ugly because this was how I had to do it. It's not pretty, but the flow through the collector is great, and the flow through all of the pipes are awesome. So that's not gonna be an issue. I am playing around with some down pipes here. This is a 3-inch pipe. I might be able to put a 4-inch as well. That is something I'm gonna play around with and see, because I would like to run a 4-inch down pipe, but the space is very limited, so we'll see. Hopefully I can fit a 4-inch pipe. Yeah, so I also put my wastegate here. So I welded the wastegate flange directly to the exhaust manifold, or the turbo housing here, because I can't really fit it anywhere else, it's so tight. But the fitment to the front end is really good, so I'm happy about that. So yeah, like I said, I'm currently figuring out how I want my downpipe to be. I really want it to be 4-inch, but I don't have a 4-inch pipe right now, so I can't really try it. I'm gonna put the turbo back together so you can see the fitment, and also put the front end on so you can see how it looks. One thing I need to fix is the intake manifold here. I need to change the angle of this throttle body because the front end is in this level right here. So the throttle body needs to be tilted down a little bit, angled down a little bit more. So I'm gonna cut this this part of the intake manifold here and angle it down some more. But yeah, I put the nice cover on so it looks a bit better instead of the mock-up cover, so it's looking good. But yeah, let's put the turbo together and then put the front end on. Alright, turbo is back on and the front end is on, and as you can see, there won't fit a charge pipe here because it will hit the front bar here. So that's why I'm gonna angle the throttle body down a little bit. And this is the fitment of the turbo. It is super tight, but I will definitely be able to put a boost pipe around this pipe here and then up to the around to the intercooler right here. Air filter will be in the headlight hole, and it's a lot of, like, it's tight, but it clears so it doesn't hit anywhere. And obviously I will be running aluminum engine mounts, so it won't move that much. And in worst case, I just grind this bar down a little bit on the inside here, so that won't be a problem. But the fitment looks pretty good, and yeah, This all looks good actually. I'm happy about it. I'm gonna figure out a downpipe, and I'm gonna mount the intercooler so I can put some boost pipes on. And yeah, it's taking shape. I'm excited. And also one thing, and I was looking for something, but I can't really remember what it was. Yeah, I was looking for a gearbox. Never mind. And when I was looking for that gearbox, it's for another project I'm working on. I found this radiator here. So as you saw in my last video, no, 2 videos ago, my first English video, I had this stock IS200 radiator in the back of the car. But I actually found this aluminum radiator this is for an CA18 in my old S13. So it's a little bit beat up, but it's only the coolant, like the coolant things here. So all of the water lines are completely fine. So, and I've tested it for leaks, and it's completely fine. I'm obviously gonna use this radiator. It's thicker, fully aluminum, and it's gonna work perfectly fine. And I do have a fan shroud. Well, I do have a fan shroud for this radiator, but I do think I have that in my S13. So I do need to buy that, but I know what fan shroud will fit bolt on, so that's nice. I built this exhaust manifold in stainless steel, so I'm definitely thinking that I'm gonna build the whole exhaust system in stainless. That would be pretty cool. I think I haven't had a stainless steel exhaust before, so let's do that. And honestly, it's actually not that much left before grinding the whole car down to paint it. Obviously, need to fix mounts in the front for the coolers, a few mounts and things in the engine bay. The interior is, well, the interior is pretty much complete. All I need to do is build some mounts for switch panels and the ECU, obviously, and stuff like that. And then in the back will be mounts for the radiator, and also somehow I need airflow through the radiator, obviously. So I need to build something for that. But yeah, we are definitely closing in on grinding this car down and prepping it for paint. So that's very exciting. But thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. But yeah, I see you in the next video. Bye.